Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a topic that's, well, absolutely crucial for any competitive exam: profit and loss. And I promise, by the time we're done here, you're going to feel so much more confident tackling these problems.
You know, profit and loss, it sounds simple enough, right? But the questions? Oh, they can be super tricky. But hey, don't you worry. We're going to break down every single type of problem, one by one. So, you ready? Let's jump right in with our first one.
Okay, so first up, we're going to tackle a really foundational concept. And honestly, this is where a lot of students trip up. It's all about calculating the profit percentage based on the selling price instead of the usual cost price. Getting this right? Super, super important.
All right, take a look at this one. This is a total classic. You have to read it really carefully. See, the profit is given on the cost price, but the question wants the profit percentage on the selling price. And that tiny little change, that's the trap. So let's break it down together and see how to avoid it.
Okay, so the secret weapon here is fractions. Seriously. First thing you do, convert that 20% into a fraction. That's 1/5, right? Now, because the profit is on the cost price, the bottom number, the denominator, that's 5, we'll just call that our cost price. And the top number, the numerator, that's 1, well, that's our profit. So what's the selling price then? Easy. It's just cost price plus profit. So 5 plus 1 is 6. But remember the trick? The question wants the profit percentage on the selling price. That means our base, the number we're dividing by, changes. So our formula is now profit divided by SP times 100.
And boom, here's the final calculation. You just plug in the numbers, 1/6 times 100, and you get 16.67%. See? The big takeaway here, the thing you have to remember, is to always check what the percentage is being calculated on. Is it the cost price or the selling price? That was the whole trick to this question.
Okay, so we've gone from cost price to selling price. That makes sense. But what if a question flips it around? What if they give you the final selling price and you have to work backwards to find the original cost? Let's take a look at how to do that.
So check out this problem. Selling price is 6160 rupees and the profit is 37.5%. I know, a number like 37.5% looks a little scary, right? But trust me, there's a super simple way to deal with it.
Okay, this is a major exam pointer. You're gonna want to write this down. It'll save you so much time, and you know every second counts in these exams. Anytime you see these weird percentages like 37.5% or 16.67% or 12.5%, your brain should immediately scream fraction. Just convert them. So 37.5%, that's just 3/8. Easy.
All right, so we turn that scary 37.5% into a friendly 3/8. And just like we did before, the bottom number, 8, that's our cost price. The top number, 3, is our profit. So what's the selling price in these units? Well, it's just 8 plus 3, which is 11 units. And now we have a connection. These 11 units are actually equal to the 6160 rupees from the question.
And just like that, the whole problem just unlocks. If 11 units equals 6160, then one single unit is just 6160 divided by 11, which is 560 rupees. Simple, right? Now the question wants the cost price, and we know that's 8 units. So we just do 8 times 560, and there's our answer, 4480 rupees. See how powerful using fractions is? It just makes everything so much cleaner.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. We're moving on to a topic that is a huge favorite in exams. And honestly, it's kind of fascinating. We're talking about the dishonest seller problems. There's a really clever trick to these, and we're going to expose it right now. The secret to cracking every single one of these questions comes down to one simple idea. The seller's real cost is for the amount he actually gives you. But he charges you for the amount he says he's giving you. So the profit isn't on the price tag, it's hidden in the weight that's missing. All right, let's put this principle into action with a super common question. So the seller says, hey, I'm selling this at cost price, no profit for me. Sounds like a great deal, doesn't it? But here's the catch. Instead of a full kilogram, he's sneakily giving 200 grams less. So the poor customer only gets 800 grams.
And now for the pro tip. This is like the master key that unlocks all of these problems. Ready? To make your life 1,000 times easier, just assume that 1 gram costs 1 rupee. That's it. So 1,000 grams, a whole kilogram, would cost 1,000 rupees. This one little assumption makes the math so easy to see.
Okay, so let's follow the money. Since he only gave the customer 800 grams, what was his actual cost? Well, the money that came out of his pocket was only for 800 grams, so 800 rupees. But what did he charge the customer? He charged them for a full kilogram, which is 1,000 rupees. So think about it. He spent 800 to make 1,000. His profit is 200 rupees.
And here's the golden rule, you guys. Profit percentage is always calculated on the actual cost price. Not what he claims, but what he actually spent. So that's 200 divided by his real cost of 800 times 100, which gives us a whopping 25% profit. The guy who claimed no profit was making a quarter of his investment back on every sale. This type of question is so important for exams, so please make sure you get this logic down.
Awesome work so far. Now that we've got the basics down, you know what's next. It's time to level up. Let's tackle a more advanced problem where they start mixing things together. Two different items with a tricky condition connecting them.
Okay, take a deep breath because this one looks a little intimidating, right? You've got two items, one sold for a profit, the other for a loss. And there's this weird connecting them. The selling price of the first is the same as the cost price of the second. Whew, but don't panic. We're going to use a simple table to make it all make sense.
First things first, let's get our ratios straight for each item. So for item I, we have a 20% profit. That's a fraction of 1/5. So a cost price of 5 gives us a selling price of 6. Got it? For item II, it's a 10% loss, or 1/10. So a cost price of 10 gives a selling price of 9. Okay. Now, here's the puzzle piece. The condition says the SP of the first item has to equal the CP of the second. But right now, we have a 6 and a 10. They're not equal. So we need to fix that.
And here's how we solve that little puzzle. We need to make the 6 and the 10 into the same number. What's the easiest way? Find their least common multiple, the LCM, which is 30. So to turn 6 into 30, we multiply that whole first ratio by 5. To turn 10 into 30, we multiply the whole second ratio by 3. And voila, we have new adjusted ratios that follow the rule. From here, it's easy. Just add up the total cost price and the total selling price. You can see the total CP is 55 and the total SP is 57. That gives us an overall profit of 2 units. The final percentage is just 2 divided by 55 times 100.
All right, we're on the home stretch. Just one last type of question for today, and this one pops up in exams all the time. It's a bit different because it juggles both the quantity of items and their price. It can look long and complicated, but the solution is just pure, simple logic.
Okay, let's unpack this question. We've got a trader who sold 3 dozen, that's 36 oranges, for 405 rupees and lost 25% on the deal. Ouch. Now, his new goal is to make a 20% profit. And the question is, to hit that new goal, how many oranges does he need to sell for 288 rupees? You can see it has a few moving parts, so we're just going to take it one logical step at a time. Okay, step 1. For a minute, just forget about the 288 rupees. Let's first figure out the target selling price for those 3 dozen oranges. We know selling them for 405 was a 25% loss, which means 405 is actually 75% of the cost price. From that, we can figure out what 12% of the cost price would be. That's our 20% profit target. And that comes out to 648 rupees. So to hit his goal, he needs to sell 36 oranges for 648 rupees. Okay, now step 2 is easy. If he sells 36 oranges for 648, how many can he sell for 288? You just use a simple unitary method, and you'll find the answer is 16 oranges. Done.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into profit and loss. I really hope these concepts are feeling a lot clearer for you now. But before you go, I've got a little challenge question for you. It mixes 2 of the things we learned today, so give it a shot using the principles we talked about. You can totally do it. Now think about this. If a simple, invisible change in weight can result in a 25% profit, how many other invisible profits or losses might we encounter in our daily lives without ever even realizing it? Something to